Yes, sir. Uh,
Woo!
Back in the building with two of the most dynamic content creators.
You better understand.
In the building, we have the big time show on tonight, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and
The one and only.
Mr. Always Making Plays.
Woo! Boy, will y'all please put your hands together? Oh, will y'all please put your hands together?
I just feel it down in my spirit, down in my shanana, that this is
Oh,
going to be a dynamic show on tonight. I'm excited because, ladies and gentlemen, your Dallas Cowboys have started to turn this ship around. And they
quickly.
handedly, the New York Jets on Sunday by a final score of 37-22. Now, the score is definitely far more closer than what the game was because it was 30-6 until late in the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah.
kudos to the coaching staff for the scheme and the game plan that they drew up for this past Sunday. Kudos to your players for taking accountability. We heard it throughout the week.
Yeah.
Taking accountability for things that they did wrong, but also kudos to them for speaking out for what they felt wasn't right or didn't necessarily play to their strengths. And
Mm,
kudos to Jerry Jones for telling the entire New York Jets
mm,
fan section,
mm,
you.
mm.
So that's how
Oh,
we're gonna start out. The squad did better. They improved. We finally got us another W, and I'm feeling good on the night. How you feeling, big time?
explosive on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Appreciate all of you guys to jump on and come hang with us at the BTA podcast. A win is a win. That's all. You know, it's amazing to me how people. It's amazing to me how people gave the Jets a chance before the game, and then once we win, oh, it was just the Jets. I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on now. I mean, it make up your mind.
Hey,
Yeah,
look, it wasn't just the Jets, big time.
no, it was not.
You know who it was?
No. Oh, well, it was them. It was them. It was them. Oh, okay. It's amazing to me the confidence level that the Jets fans had once they heard, once they heard that
Factual.
um, that the Cowboys' offensive line was down four starters.
That part.
Uh, Now they say you too low over there. I think I got you turned all the way up on me on my side.
What about now?
There you go. I hope that's better. Somebody in the chat let me know what amp sound like. I know I got them turned all the way up over here. Uh,
All the way up.
yeah, I mean it's amazing that the Cowboys only had one offensive starter, and it seemed like that the defensive line for the Jets, who was pretty good, supposed to, gave us some problems, right?
Yep.
So if anything, it was, a preseason offensive line out there for the Cowboys, but it looked like I didn't see no drop off nowhere. You understand? I saw it. Hey, what's up, boss? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm real high and say boss is low. I'm real high. Thank you for that. Letting me know that I'm down low. Let me take myself even lower, boss. And I thought I just saw Lou enter the building. Amp, I got you all the way up, brother. There you go.
I just turned it up, Lou.
There you go.
Somehow, some way it got back down again, but I appreciate you, dog.
Man, appreciate y'all. I think we good to go now. Let us know. Let us know. I don't want to let Amp get out of here. Amp is a vital part of this thing. I mean, good Lord. We got to have the microphones right. I think we're good now. Everybody, we good. Everybody, we good. My mic is loud. Okay. I think that was a previous comment. I think I turned myself down. So I'm
Okay.
going.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Okay, everybody. So I'm looking at it. They say much better. There we go. There we go.
Look,
There we go.
shout out to the homie Lou's takes because he said exactly what it was. And in
Yeah.
real time, I actually was doing it because I remember he pointed it out before. So again, that's why I love. I gotta put a pause right here real quick. That's why I love and appreciate the community so much
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we all about helping and uplifting one another for one common cause, and that is the star.
Yeah, yeah. One call, and every voice matters. And so we appreciate everybody that's popping in. Listen, we ask that you would share before we go on our tirade. Do everything with that, which you will. Share it to Cowboy fan. Let us know exactly how everything is going on this evening. Let's talk, man. I don't know where you want to kick it off, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Where you want to start with? I'm loaded either way. I'm loaded.
So I want to start with this O line because you mentioned it.
Mm,
The fact that you had four offensive linemen missing in action on Sunday, and the fact that you pretty much handled the Jets defense. You ran the ball at will, and Dak had time to make completions, not just short intermediate. He was able to throw some things downfield, and all of those were not created by his legs alone. It was because of the protection that was in front of you. So I just got to shout out. I reposted Lou's takes short earlier in the week, and I said Clayton for president, man,
yeah,
because he has just been absolutely impeccable. If you in any other scenario on any other team says, "Hey, I'm gonna take four of your starting offensive linemen," you really think that the protection is gonna look like that? Some teams starting five protection don't look like what we saw from ours on Sunday. So kudos to them. It just and then I saw some other things that I'm gonna just tiptoe on. I ain't gonna get too deep, but it kind of ruffled me the wrong way, and that is these grades from these websites. Because when I look at the film, my eyes tell me something a little different. So I don't buy into the grades. You know what I'm saying? If you do, that's your choice. But as for me, in my house,
Mm,
the house of Dallas,
yeah,
the eye in the sky don't lie.
yeah,
And those guys did a darn good job on Sunday. Now, it was
yeah,
still some room for improvement, but what I do appreciate is the fact that these guys are getting valuable reps when they can
yeah.
because of the opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you feel they fared? Did you have any one particular favorite that stood out to you on that O line or
Um, I gotta go with if I was, pulling out one guy. I want to give credit to Hoffman,
mm,
and the reason why I'm saying Hoffman is because he has responsibility on that line,
facts?
and for him to make the proper calls, we don't know if that corrected it after him, and all that type of stuff. I don't know. Um, what I want to give him credit for is how physical this line was because you had to be physical because the Jets are a physical football team. If I was dude, but as a group though, the young man that started for Tyron Smith, his first real experience in deep water. We didn't have no complaints about him as well. If you want to give second credit for him, but
Hell, Terrence Steele.
yeah, just he just lightened it up. I mean, everybody did,
He,
but he,
what I'm saying,
but
he didn't look when he first got his first reps. He
mm-hmm,
didn't necessarily look good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Kind of, it took him a while to kind of get his feet and his NFL legs up under him, and then you saw him slowly start to mature as he gained more experience. And I want people to understand that what we saw Sunday was it still was early, if you will, for a lot
yeah,
of guys. The fact that you don't have reps to depend on week in and week out, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But just as the opportunity is presented to you, and
yeah,
for you to fare as well as you did, the ceiling is high. We probably have one of the deepest, and I
yeah,
mean one of the deepest offensive line rooms in the league, period.
yeah. And here's my bottom line: the offense with the starters scoring 30, and with the backups, guess what? Scoring 30. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see no drop off. We had sub linemen in the game last week. No drop off. Then you just about had a whole offensive line. There's no drop off. And now if you peel it back even further, now we getting into some real deep water.
Yeah.
Because now we got to look at these coaches now.
Oops.
Because you tell any other team, as Am said earlier, just one man would just rip, tear apart a whole offensive line. But four. Now we got to look at this offensive line coach. We got to look at Clayton Adams. We got to look at Schottenheimer and salute them because it is obvious that these guys know what they're doing. They know what the combinations are. And their offense did not. I'm saying the offense. There was no, from my understanding, listening to Schottenheimer this week, the playbook didn't change. Usually, when you put subs in, you got to change things up according to what they do and how fit. No, it was
Tailor it.
you got to,
Tailor it.
yeah, exactly. You got to tweak it, tailor it, adjust everything according to the roster that you have in. There was no change. So, what kind of confidence does this? These people have with guys that are truly backups. And you got to give our offensive line coach and Clayton Adams, and this is the effect I believe of Clayton Adams coming in. Who if you heard Schottenheimer this week saying that he's an offensive line coach, I'm quite sure he's involved heavily into how these guys or what they're doing. Kudos to them offensively. I mean, we just on the offensive line. We ain't got to the other stuff yet. But these guys, man, look, I am incredibly impressed because, of course, being a Cowboy fan, I remember when Tyron Smith would be out by himself and we couldn't block nothing.
Facts.
I remember when Zach Martin would be out.
You watch what's his name? The content creator, Scooter Magruder.
Yeah.
Remember his videos for the longest time. In the very beginning, what did it say? Is Tyron Smith playing? Is Tyron Smith playing?
Yeah.
That was the first question. Because what Tyron Smith was playing or not had a whole lot and a heavy percentage on if the Cowboys were going to win the game or not. That is sad.
It's sad. And yet alone, I remember times when the healthy Zach Martin, the great Zach Martin, wouldn't play. And you could see the difference. We didn't function well. There was absolutely nothing that this offense could not do with a 4 backup linemen. And you talking about confidence. I mean, the confidence is there that no matter when and if guys have to take off, listen, we're going to be all right. I believe that, and I don't care who we playing. They handled the Packers, and they handled the Jets. And so I'm with it. Dear Lou, it was dark days when our guys were out. Man, we got this was, ladies and gentlemen, we can't just brush past this. This was a preseason offensive line that started this game on the number 1 offense in the league with the hottest quarterback in the league, and the quarterback got hotter. The running game did not fall at all. You got to give these coaches, man. Look, Lou, I don't know if you done a short on this or not, but look, we got to give these coaches, man, credit. And trust me, the resume of Mr. Clayton Adams just got higher, and there's gonna be a team that's gonna knock at his door, just based off what you just seen right here tonight. So I mean, on Sunday. So listen, major props to that. I start with the offensive line. We can move to the obvious stuff. If you want to go with the obvious stuff on offense. But kudos, man, to this offensive line. I got to start there.
Agreed, stamped, signed, sealed, and delivered. Because in addition to the absence of offensive linemen, you were also missing 2 other starters.
Uh-oh.
And if you want to go there, you can say another role player, and that would be to count Miles Sanders being out.
Yeah.
So you could say, for all practical purposes, seven key members of your offense were not available. I remember thinking during the week, like when they started talking about Tyler Smith not being available, because he wasn't on the injury report at the beginning of the week. When that happened, my first thought was, I ain't even going to hold you. Mm-hmm. No cap. I went into prayer. And you know why I went into prayer? I went into prayer for your quarterback. I said, Lord, please protect this man come Sunday. Mm-hmm. Because I was at the Chaz Green game, y'all, okay? I was at the Chaz Green game. I was present.
Please don't remind me of it. Don't remind me of it.
You know how rough that was? That was me and my boy, my best friend. That was he and I's. We became friends. And shout out to my high school. We just celebrated our 20th this past weekend. But we met in high school as sophomores because we both were fans of the Cowboys. And that was our first time together as boys, as men, witnessing a Cowboys game in person.
Wow.
And that's the game I saw. I will never forget that game. Because of one person, we had what? 7 sacks that game? 7?
7 from one man.
And you had four absent on this past Sunday, and it wasn't even close to that.
Wasn't really a sack. They gave a little put sack to Dak that really was not a sack. It almost reminded you of Michael Parsons sack. The boy uniform was clean. That's the bottom line.
Clean.
Uniform was clean. I don't even remember him hitting the ground, other than when he slid.
Now, there's another side to this. There's another side to it.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? The moon shines on one side of the earth at a time. It's daylight on the other side. On the other side of that sphere is the fact that four
Mm.
is mobile again.
Mm.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Him using his legs is buying him additional time to get his eyes downfield and make these deep throws.
Wow.
The other side of this also is the fact that four has a running game again. That play action is working. It's freezing defenders. It's drawing them up to the line of scrimmage, and then once they realize four still got the ball, retreat.
Mm.
It is making a difference. Four needs a run game. When four has a solid run game, Javonte averaged what, 8 a carry? Come on, man. Some points in times in the Kellen Moore era that we weren't averaging 8 yards a pass. And you're averaging that in the run game, man? Come on. Give your offensive coaches credit. And I say offensive coaches because it takes all parties involved. So again, in the opening, I said kudos to your coaches and kudos to your players. Javonte, oh my God. That long run right before halftime,
Big.
the physicality was displayed so well on that play. I went back and looked at that play probably about 8 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept hitting that circle back 10 button. I just kept hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because after he broke through the line, that man ran over Nate Thomas like he was a damn beach towel or something. Like, I mean, he just boom.
He almost broke his shoulder.
And I said, God Almighty. Nate Thomas is 300 plus, y'all. I just want you to know that. And for him to move, for him to be able to move that grown man like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's power.
Super.
That's work over the summertime. And mind you, this is somebody who had an injury, who teams in the NFL kind of turned their nose at because they was like, I don't think we want to touch him. He might be damaged goods.
Yeah.
And one thing I will give credit to Jerry and Steven for taking a chance. Will McClay for taking a chance. Shoddy for taking a chance on a guy that they saw the potential in. They pair him. They said he will be a good fit for our system. Let's go ahead and get him all the way fully rehabbed, and let's make a plan for him. And they have made a plan for him. There were times last year where we were screaming. Shout out the West Coast. Had the hats and all. Run the damn ball. We ain't got to scream it no more because they're doing it. And as LL said, they doing it and doing it and doing it well. Shout out to them. I'm excited, y'all. I'm not saying, hey, we Super Bowl bound, but I'm liking the things that I see because we are showing to be, I won't necessarily say proficient in areas, but we have definitely showed major improvement in areas where we have lacked and that have tripped us up come January. How you feel, big time?
My mind go back to when he was hired. Schottenheimer has not lied to us. The word that was brought out throughout the whole mini camp, training camp, all of the OTAs, everything was the word physicality.
Mm.
We've heard, and I hate to bring them up, but Coach McCarthy said the same thing. And what we got was finesse.
Yeah.
What we got was when you mix it all up, when at the end of the day it was a bunch of finesse. Right now, the Cowboys, if you was to put the 5 games together, you can't help but say that yeah, Dak has thrown a lot, but Javonte Williams, of course we could run the ball more, and I even throw Miles Sanders in. Miles Sanders has a pretty good yard per carry, per average
I
carry
think
as well.
somewhere around about maybe 5-ish.
5, yeah. I mean, any running back will take that. Uh, Physicality has been, it's been at the forefront. And when you're physical and successful, you can play with anybody.
See.
And that's the part I want to hammer home, because Schottenheimer is known as, thanks to his 2 AFC Championship games, as as the New York Jet offense coordinator back in the day. That's what they did. They ran the ball, of course, with Rex Ryan as the coach. They played good defense. This is what you are seeing, uh, slowly but surely. But when you have the weapons like we have, of course you're gonna pass the ball.
Right.
That's the strength of our, the total offense is the wide receiving core, especially with Pickens there. I mean, but you got, and your quarterback is a an MVP type quarterback playing right now. Of course you're gonna pass it. But I guess the next word will really need, when you have that, and the way Jake is catching the ball, the word balance has to come into play now. And what you're seeing is the balance of an offense that can cook you any way you want it. Pick your poison. If you want to put 8 in the box, which you probably won't do, you're going to open this thing up for CD and Pickens to destroy you. So most teams will not play us like that. Okay? If you want to play the 2-eye safety look, you don't believe that we can run it. And now what you're saying is, okay, if you want to pick that poison, guess what? We're going to beat your brains out that way too. So the Cowboys are cooking tremendously. Go ahead.
29-29, by the way. Keep
But the balance.
runs this past game. Keep
The
cooking.
balance.
Keep cooking.
The balance. The balance. And if you can do that, guess what? You're gonna score what you're scoring now. So pick your poison. The Cowboys offense, as a defensive coordinator, they putting extra hours in. They got to work a little hard, because you can't shut all this thing down. Look, I even throw one little play out that we're gonna see a little bit later, but hallelujah, a little simple swing pass to Hunter Lemke, and Hunter Lemke caught the ball and ran through folks 10, 11, 12 yards, whatever they was. Lord have mercy. Wait a minute, a tight end screen? Really? To Jay? 7 more. I mean, pick your poison. What you want to do? It makes no difference. So the offense is clicking on all cylinders. And guess what, y'all? We just talking about the offensive line, Javonte Williams. I brought up Hunter Lemke and Jake Ferguson. But guess what? That ain't all what you saw.
It's more.
Oh my goodness. Who you see? What did you see? A certain number 19 that came out? Did you see another wide receiver show up?
Man,
I thought I did.
who said
Whew.
they thought? Who had been said they thought 19 needed a chance? I did. I know
Was
some
it
of y'all
you?
did. Big time, I think you did too.
I did.
I saw the size.
Hmm.
I saw the physicality.
Hmm.
I saw
Hmm.
the control, the protection of the ball. I saw all of those wonderful things. And I said, I really believe they need to give that individual more playing time. And when the opportunity, let's just stop there. Let's just stop there. I don't know if you were listening live Sunday, but we had quoted a few scriptures at a certain point in time in the show, and they were referencing, being made to lay down in green pastures, just certain things you're forced to
Yeah,
do.
I think I heard Boss bring that up. He
Right, right,
tried to preach. He tried to preach on us on that.
right.
I heard he makes me. The key word, make me.
Mate,
Yeah. Boy, don't get me fired up. I
and
start.
I
Y'all know I'm
said,
preaching.
I actually had tweeted it some days ago, and I think I retweeted it again on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I said if I had $1 for every time I heard another Cowboys fan say, I don't wish injury on nobody, but
Yeah,
because guess what? It's happened. And that's what made me say, not some things, not a few things, not a little things, all things
it
work
works. Yeah.
together in this instance for the star. Because guess what? Malik Hooker went down.
Mm,
Wanye is doing this Stiz naive. Okay?
mm.
And then an individual who we have spoken on a whole lot recently,
Yeah.
brother Sanborn, aka
Oh man.
Mr. Hit the Road Jack.
Hit the road,
Yeah.
Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more.
Yeah, that guy just
Yeah.
happened to catch him a concussion on Sunday. We wish him well.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that we got to see Shamar James a little bit more.
Uh oh.
I'm grateful we got to see Maris Luafau a little bit more.
Oh.
Because guess what? When the opportunity presented themselves, those individuals made the best of it. Maris
Oh.
Luafau helped us get our hands on the ball. Shamar James was all over the place. I heard somebody, we had all been talking about missed tackles the first couple of games, how bad it was, how egregious it was. And he just happens to come up with 15 when the opportunity presents itself. I'm talking about players who are seizing the moment. What went that the mantra like 2 years ago with McCarthy, Carpe
Yeah.
Omnia?
Yeah.
They are seizing the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Sometimes that's all you get in the NFL. You only get a moment. There might not be a second chance for you to, I need to correct what I did on, those 2 or 3 plays. No, you don't get another one.
Mm.
That's why you practice. That's why you work out. That's why you study the film. That's why you become a student of the game. So when the opportunity presents itself, you have positioned yourself to be the best version that you can be at that point in time. And that's what these individuals are doing. Again, that's why I'm excited, y'all, because this is depth building.
Yeah.
The fact that we had the injuries, and I'm grateful too, again, all things work together for the star. These injuries are not happening late in the year when we got that ugly, ugly side of the schedule based off of the opponents. It's on the portion where it's a little bit lighter of a load to where, hey, you might be okay without all your studs this week. I think that's part of the reason why you are seeing them allow some guys to rest, because they're like, hey, I can trust who we got out there. We'll be all right this week for this opponent. That is what is building your roster. So guess what?
Yeah.
When these guys come back, you heard Jerry mention it on 105.3 this morning. I'm glad he said it. I was already thinking it.
Hmm.
Because they posed the question, the media posed the question, hey, because as good as, and big time you alluded to this, and maybe that can be our kind of pivot point. Hey, because the offensive line did as good as it did Sunday, and because guys who have, filled in roles and have stepped up and, next man up, would you be interested in possibly leaving some of those guys there permanently?
Uh
And
oh.
they even took it a little further, talking about a guy who I like, who I have appreciated, in James Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to give him more snaps? And Jerry actually spoke on the fact that he believes part of the reason why guys are able to be so successful, various spots of the team, and this one in particular, because he was fresh.
Yeah.
He didn't have to play all of them snaps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? See, that's the benefits of having a deep bench.
Yeah.
The fact that you can put somebody in, there's no drop off, and this
Mm-hmm.
guy here can your starter can be rested and fresh throughout the game. When you have teams who start to wear down because they might not be able to go to your depth, that is a competition advantage. So, big time, how do you feel about the guys who have been trending upwards, and how do you feel about their role in the team as the year goes on and guys start to come back healthy?
I use one in particular where probably the biggest argument is going to be made is probably Nate Thomas.
Yeah,
I just stick with him. Uh, and you're right with the other guys, but there are a whole lot of people, myself included, that feel like that Nate Thomas, because if you listen to the coaching staff, they love that dude.
they do.
Everybody.
They,
That's
they,
Stephen Jones has talked about this dude for a while. The coaching staff loves him for a while, and they don't have the same type of energy when they talk about Tyler Guyton. Not in a negative way, but there may be one or two sentences for Tyler Guyton, but when they say Nate, it's a paragraph. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And so, when you look at the film,
mm,
Nate is super, super strong. I'm not saying Guyton is not. Guyton is still rising. Nate is already there when it comes to strength. And based off how I see him climb to the second level, the film shows he can get there quick too. And most importantly, y'all, I was convinced when I saw him handle Michael Parsons 1-on-1, I was done. I listen. I'm sorry. When I saw him, if y'all don't believe it, please go to the All 22 Green Bay game, type in Nate Thomas plays, and watch him, and you're going to see him go 1-on-1, not on one occasion, but a few occasions.
mm.
And Michael Parsons was blocked. Let me just put it that way. So when you're going against a guy like that, who is a pressure player, who didn't cause pressure at that time, that hold a lot of weight for me. I'm not saying Guyton can't do it, but I saw Nate whoop tail. I'm just gonna go and say it. He whooped tail Sunday. And let me tell you something. You better have a conversation for real. If we're talking about putting your best five out there, the question is he better than Tyler Guyton? That's the one that I think really need to be brought up. James Houston, without a doubt, as you said earlier, I mean, come on now. He got to play. I mean, come on. At the expense of who? Is it Marshawn Nealon? Is it less snaps for Sam?
So
Is it less snaps for Fowler? I don't know.
let's go deeper. See, because Guyton is their baby, their premium draft choice,
Yeah, first round pick.
first round pick.
Yeah.
And I believe they are slow on that decision.
Mm.
I believe there may be some timidness
See,
to
now you finna get me in trouble. But go ahead.
I think they're afraid to elevate said individual because
Mm.
yeah, that's
Mm.
one of the guys.
See,
But the
see,
guy that we picked, that means that you would have to push that individual down. And
so,
that's why
so,
that brings everything full circle because now the question is it really and truthfully competition under pressure? What you talking about? What it is?
well, let me go and put the word out there. Because here we go. I wasn't really going there. I just want to see how we gonna go? Because I've already said it on my own personal show, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. And let me pause right here because we got to do some housekeeping real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Amp are really just talking the way this goes. You just seeing two guys talk. We see the chat, okay? Now, if you want your chat highlighted, because when we get to rolling, we rolling. If you hit the super chat, mine, and if you hit Amp's Cash App, please understand. I'll see the super chat, and you can even say it's mine or this for Amp or whatever the case may be. We'll make sure everybody gets the proper money, whatever the case may be. If you want it, I put it in there, and there it is. The Big Time Show, there's the Cash App, Amp Sports, there it is up there. My channel has a super chat there. If you want to go to Amp, cool. I ain't got no problem with it. I'll send him what he needs. We ain't doing that. But if you want us to have your comment highlighted, you can do that. Now, here's what I'm about to say, Amp. Oh, and by the way, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Well, we need these likes to go up in this now. Everybody pause. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, here you go, y'all. Politics has always been the cancer of the Cowboys. In other words, you didn't put the proper person on the field that needed to be there. That's what I call it. The politics and loyalty. What are you being loyal to? The draft pick where a person was drafted. Or you're being loyal because you signed him in free agency in the off season. You're paying more money to this person, so he's got to play, which has always been the rule of the Cowboys. If we pay you, you got to play. That's the way it is. This year is a little different because when you see guys that are playing better, are you going to allow the politics now to get in the way? Because your team is playing better, and it ain't just Nate. You know, we might as well just go in with it. Wanye Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Have you seen any play over the top since Wanye's been playing? He started in the Green Bay game. He didn't start. He didn't start. I'm saying his play started in the Green Bay game when Hooker went out. Have y'all seen anything go over the top since Wanye been playing? I haven't. Okay, so that was a big problem at first. That got to count for something. So is there an argument that can be made just after a little small sample size that Wanye is playing a little bit better than Hooker? If that is the case, why you gonna go back to Hooker? We need somebody. I'm ready to go. Hello, I don't get it. James Houston, if I'm not mistaken, is he leading this team in sacks? Sound like a pressure player to me. Okay, but are you loyal to Sam? Are you loyal? I'm not saying James Houston's supposed to start, but there need to be somebody. Snaps need to come down a little bit, and James need to increase. Is that at the detriment of Marshawn Nealon? Is that at the detriment of Dante Fowler? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I had APB out on Fowler and Sam Williams. I had missing persons report out on them, and they finally showed up. Finally showed up.
Yep.
I had them on milk cartons. I was like, where are they? Where are they? I didn't see them. I ain't seen them all year. I ain't heard the name called. I ain't heard nothing. I was looking for them. They finally showed up. I was glad to see them. But James Houston, watch this. In preseason, he was getting loose. In the preseason games, he was getting loose. And in the regular season games, he shows up. Common sense tell me this dude need to be playing a little bit more than he is. What he had, 20 some odd snaps? Man, get this man 30 some odd snaps. I'm sorry. He needs to play. Wanye Thomas, we've been bad. He needs to play.
Yeah.
I don't care when Hooker gets back. And Hooker is on IR, so he gonna be gone for 4 games. Wanye Thomas got a real good chance to cement himself as a starting free safety for this team. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, I got a video I am working on right now. Notes right here, real talk. See you, Sanborn. Malik booked. Guyton gone.
Yeah.
Y'all will see it coming forth a little later this week. But that's where we at with it, because it's like at the end of the day, I'm sorry, and I saw the comment. I'm gonna scroll down real quick. Yeah,
Highlight.
Cowboys fan Mayfield. He said admitting your draft choice wasn't the better man, and then he said favoritism. That's another word that I saw. And then he also said crazy that it's taking injury for us to even see these guys play. That's sad. That's
Wow.
what it's taking, but that is why I feel our team is trending in the right direction, is because of these injuries displayed before us. We actually get to see and judge for ourselves versus what they tell us took place at practice. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only a small portion is open to the media, and then after that, everything is behind closed doors. So
Yeah.
it's displayed in front of us. So guess what? You can't lie to us anymore.
Yeah.
The lie is gone. Can
Yeah.
you?
The tape speaks.
The tape is speaking loud, and
That's all I go by.
that's why we got to be loud. That's why you got to be loud. That's why I got to be loud. That's why the chat has to be loud to actually get what we want.
Yeah.
You see it in other franchises. Some franchises, you know what I'm saying, your general manager does it on his own. And then in
Yeah.
some franchises, it takes the crowd to kind of elevate, you know what I'm saying? That's why we start these campaigns.
Yeah.
That's why you see hashtag RB1 or RB1 a trade for RB1 or RB1 and 2 duo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Please forgive me, y'all. I misquoted the hashtag, but y'all know what it is that we want.
Yeah.
That's why those are important, because guess what? Now that they can't lie to us, it makes it very difficult in the court of public opinion for them to just say no now.
Yeah.
Because now when it if and when it breaks down, because they're still doing things the way they want to,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to push off and defer and put it on somebody else like they have for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to do that no more. That's why a lot of people have checked out, because they like, look, I've seen too much evidence displayed in front of me for me to continue to trust you. So until you step to the side and hire somebody who is more appropriate, I'ma just step to the side and fan from the side. And guess what? I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. Well, and on that note, we need one more name up here
Ooh.
that we need to talk about. And I'm gonna bring him up because I heard something that was actually factual, but I don't care. And that is Mr. Shamar James. Let me tell y'all something. I heard Brian Broadus with Vox say that with Shamar James in, they said that the run average was 8.2 yards. Factual,
Yeah.
factual. But Jack Sanborn ain't giving you no 15 tackles. Even when it's coverage there, Sanborn cannot get there in time.
Line.
If you watch the tape and see how Shamar James is just exploding off the field, if you look and see how he's running with his hair on fire, you can't help but see the difference between him and Sanborn. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, it's called common sense. Sanborn been in this league for a few years now. I give Sanborn credit because he knows the defense. He usually gonna be somewhere close and around the ball. He knows where to be. He knows gaps. He knows where his body's supposed to be. All that type of stuff. And Shamar James is a rookie. Guess what happened when you're a rookie? You make rookie mistakes, but the only way that the rookie is gonna get better unless he's on the field. This dude that played, this is his first real game. Sanborn Sanborn been in the league for years. Ladies and gentlemen, did you notice the speed of the defense? Did you see the speed of the defense? Did you see how they were hidden? Did you see everything was there? Listen, I done seen Sanborn. He can't cover. He can't run. Jamal James can run. He can do it. Lil Fowl. Lil Fowl. We beg for Lil Fowl. Amp, did you beg for Lil Fowl? Did you beg for him? Did you see the impact that he made? What else do we got? What are we talking about here?
He's a great player.
I mean, come on now. These guys got to be on the field and made your defense better. I haven't seen the thing yet because I haven't looked it up, but I'm anxious to see if the Cowboys are still the 32nd ranked defense in the league. I don't know that.
Clear. It's clear. It is very, very clear. I know the truth.
Uh-oh.
How do you?
I know the truth.
That's it.
I know the truth.
It don't.
They look different, y'all. They look different, and so you build on that. Why are we entertaining? I don't know if we're gonna entertain bringing folks. Hey, I appreciate everybody popping in.
Boy, y'all killing it with the hashtags right now too. By the way,
I'm looking at Trey for GM. Hallelujah, say Trey for GM. And look, and listen. If the politics come into play, I'm gonna side with Hallelujah and say, look, y'all killing me. Because the defense played much better with what? The backups, if you want to call it that.
didn't they make a movie about that called like The Replacements or something?
They did. And you know, look, let me really hit it home here. Past performances does not help you with the present circumstances. Y'all heard what I just said? Past production does not help with the present circumstances. In other words, whatever Sanborns was, he's not that anymore. Malik Hooker, I don't look the range that he used to have. He don't have that now. I'm sorry. I didn't see no bombs. Trust me. I know the pressure was there. I ain't seen no bombs since Wanye been in the game. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But past performances does not help present circumstances. Sometimes, guess what? Some people just get a little older and they can't do it too much no more. I'm just saying. If the defense look better, then we need to look better. And go ahead and finish up because I'm finna look up and see if the Cowboys are still the last ranked defense in the league. I'm finna look that up right now.
Ooh.
I'm finna look and see. After that one, did we move up? That's what I want to know.
So it's going to first. Okay, while you look up that, I wanna pivot real quick to a different topic, and this is something that we actually talked about last week when we were looking to this game, and that was Justin Fields because all the film that I looked at showed me that Fields was slippery as soap. And one of my biggest fears was, okay, if and when the pass, his targets or whatever are not open, and the pocket starts to break down. In the previous game, he made some miraculous. I'm talking about escapes. Just the way he was evading defenders. And I was fearful. I said, see, the thing about it is he's kind of dual threat. He can sling it, but he can kill you with them legs. And the legs is what I was worried about. That didn't occur on Sunday.
No.
And to me, that didn't occur because your defensive line and your second level, everybody to me this game was a little bit more disciplined. A little bit more disciplined.
We are still the last ranked defense in the league, but when you have such a bad start as we did, it's going to take more than one game to get there. So we moving up. How about this, Amp? Maybe the reason why you saw such an aggression in defense is simply the coaching getting off, stop being stubborn. They
Mm.
did a lot of man defense, didn't they? It was a lot of man defense that we did.
So what I've heard quoted is because from what I've seen, the early weeks we were like in the 90s as far as zone is concerned.
There you go.
We reduced that some. This game it was 83% zone to 17% man. So you had man more often and more instances during the game.
Yeah,
Um, I think again, I gave credit to the players. They were talking about what they wanted, what worked for them.
yeah.
But they
Diggs in particular.
understand we got to follow and do as we're told. But I think that I think Flus is starting to understand his players a little better. I
There you
think
go.
they're starting to understand him a little better. Y'all, this thing is a marriage. You don't jump out the gate with everything, just perfect. Yeah, you have your little honeymoon phase or whatever, but in football, that's different. It's the reverse.
Yeah.
So you got to come together and work together. I even saw articles saying that Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown basically in so many words had a come to Jesus meeting, if you will, about their roles and how to work together to make things better. And that's what it is. And that's what you're seeing. When people put pride aside, when people put egos aside and say, hey, let's do what is for the best for the team. Notice I said team. Together, what? Everyone achieves more.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw. You saw Ferg looking better. You saw
Yeah.
Flournoy pop up. You still,
Yeah.
even though his targets were limited because of who was put on him, you still saw Pickens with the big catch over Sauce.
Yeah.
All parties were still. We still got people involved, and now that Dak is building chemistry with yet another weapon, another receiver, guess what? When CD does come back, guess what? Now they're because that's one thing I do notice about Dak. He's gonna throw to who he feels comfortable with most. It's not necessarily always about who's open, because sometimes he'll press it if it's not open, but he'll press it if it's not open if he trusts you. And now that you see individuals building rapport, him and Flournoy coming together, him and Pickens coming together, you're seeing that chemistry start to build. These are the things, these are the building blocks that championships are made of. No amp did not say Dallas is going to the championship, but I said these are things that championships are made of.
No doubt about it. And once you know that and understand the building process block by block, you can start to build something special. Now, I'm loving. That goes back to Schottenheimer. I've been with him since he came. I love what he's doing, and I think that we are slowly but surely. If stubbornness does not come into play, or if Jerry does not get into play, I believe, or Steven, if they don't interject themselves with the politics, I believe that we got a chance to get better and better and better. And I'm really feeling now. Let's transition because we almost been here an hour and we don't try to stay long. Look, appreciate everybody. Hit that like button. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Everybody that's on the Big Time Show, and there's a lot of y'all there, I need y'all to switch real quick. I need y'all to go get off my channel. Go to Sports, Amp Sports, Amp Sports on YouTube. I need you to go hit and subscribe to his channel. If you're on Amp's channel, will you please switch and come to the Big Time Show? If you're not following me, come switch up. We doing this thing together. We're gonna push Amp to over 1,000 subscribers. I'm already well over there, but I'm going higher. I'm about 50 from 3,000 myself. Glory to God. That's awesome. But we doing this together. We're going to keep this thing going all season long. We're going to pump each other up. We're going to do this thing. Go over there and just follow it real quick. Watch this, though, man. Watch this. The part that I'm doing is now, because I'm done with the Jets. We beat their brains out. Bottom line. Done. Now here comes Carolina. Here come Carolina, and I've done just a little work on them. Let me tell y'all something.
Same here.
They loaded. I ain't talking about the record. I'll forget the record. Forget the record. They're loaded. Leggett is the truth. The wide receiver. The receiver that we wanted in the draft. Ted is the truth. Tedorola McMillan
Balling.
is going to work. We got a motivated running back, Enrico, who already talking trash. Y'all see what I'm saying? And you have a former number one pick as the quarterback who kind of reminds me more of a Caleb Williams type. He's not as fast as Caleb, but he can throw from the pocket. He can throw from the pocket. He can run it. He's more of a Caleb Williams, and they can play. They're scoring pretty good. Listen, they got a defense with Mr. Derrick Brown in the middle. The truth. A guy who we wanted. You understand? Look, they got Mr. Horn, a quarterback a few years ago that we wanted. They got some weapons over there. So I don't want nobody to say hey, it's the Carolina Panthers. However, I am saying this. This is a game. I'm saying it right off the top. Even though we on the road, it is a game that the Dallas Cowboys should win. When you got the games that you're supposed to win, you have to win them. And I got the feeling because Dak do this every year, y'all. He gets on one of these real hot streaks every single year where the Cowboys run off 4 or 5 in a row. I believe we're in that moment right now. And we need to take care of business with Carolina. Amp is going to talk more about that on his personal show. I'm going to talk about that more later this week as we head into the Carolina game. The next time you guys will see us, unless y'all demand us to come back, will be after the Carolina game, and we'll be talking about what happened in the Carolina game. But I'm looking forward to it because I got a feeling, man, that this train is on the track now. And it was already on the track. But I really feel like we about to get on the road for real now. Go ahead with that.
So I'm there again. The squad, the roster, we are not perfect by a long shot. There's still room for improvement. There's still technical things we need to work on. There's still individuals who need to work on technique and eyes and hands and feet placement and just knowing where to be when the time is right. But I saw a lot of improvement from your coaching staff. I saw a lot of improvement from your players. We're getting there. You've heard us say this every week. It's a long season.
Long season.
We're getting there. As in getting. The ending of that word is the suffix is ing, meaning in progress. We're a work in progress. So we got to continue to push our voices. We got to continue to be heard. We got to continue to sound the alarm because at the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed.
There you go.
And I'm sure you, like me, would like to be fed another Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl trophy sometime soon.
Yeah.
We're good. The Cowboys are showing better, but we're still awaiting their best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, this has been Big Time and Ant with the BTA Podcast, and y'all be blessed.
We're going to holler at you. Oh, shit.